It's my favorite book that I pull out this time of year, called Snowflake. And it's really about the science and the beauty and all that. I've got a little thing I'll read here in a few minutes. But yeah, you can call me Snowflake. We are going to start on this beautiful, basically it's Thanksgiving week, with a song from Stacy. Thank you for this day.
With helpers.
Yeah, with helpers. And Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie and Tammy.
And Tammy.
This is a call and response song, so please join in. I'll sing and sing along with Carrie, if you would. Everybody ready? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. This wonderful life. This wonderful life. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. These fabulous friends. These fabulous friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you. Want to say thank you. Woo. Oh, look at that sunshine right in on us.
Oh, yeah.
Might have to put my sunglasses on. You know, it's reflecting off of the snow. Good morning, I'm Reverend Gail Dobert, and so happy to be with you on this beautiful Sunday morning, my favorite day of the whole week. Unity of Bay City. Welcome to Unity of Bay City. We're a positive, practical path to spiritual living, and we are heart-centered, inclusive, and just a loving community. So welcome. Wherever you are on your life's journey, you're welcome here. You're so welcome here. And if you're here for the first time, we have some welcome packets that look like this out in the front lobby, and there's also lots of smiling faces around. You might even see somebody with a smiley face on their lapel somewhere. Is lapel even a thing?
Yeah.
There it is. With a smiley face on it, and they'll have a little gift for you as well. So I'm going to take a moment now to thank our Sunday service team. This is a community, and we serve together to create all the things that we create here, including Sunday service. So and maybe I can talk today. Our platform assistant today is Nancy Berdasco. And Nancy wears a lot of hats around here. And her husband, I almost said sidekick, but her husband Jack is doing our live stream. He's watching our folks. Hello there, everybody, watching from live stream. Welcome. We know that you're home warm and cozy. Our soundboard today, back there in the booth, is Greg. Hey, Greg, thank you. And our musicians today are Stacy and
Carrie
and
Tammy.
Improv, yeah. Isn't it cool? Our ushers today are Linda and Kathy, right? Linda and Kathy, yes, okay. And then our greeters, Danielle and Kevin. And hospitality today is Andrea, Connie, and all the helpers. We did have, we're having a Nepalese tea today that had to be modified just a tad, but there'll be warm tea or coffee nonetheless. So let us move into our time of prayer. Oh, we have all this joy and all this love. And the country that we are spotlighting this month is Nepal. And the prayer from Nepal is, children are like stars of peace. Will we nurture their twinkling or let them become falling stars? Now is the time to help our world shine. May peace flourish on earth. And as we continue our prayers, we move into our heart space. And anyone who is on your heart and mind this morning, call them up. Even if they're sitting right beside you, even if they're thousands of miles away. Feel their presence as we send so much love. Surround them with light and love. If they're in a healing process, we know the wise body knows just what to do, and they allow it to do it. Anyone who's on our prayer lists with our Power of Prayer partnership, we know the truth of each and every situation and person. We know and affirm that life is good and very good, and we open ourselves to feel it and to know it. In this unbounded, beautiful universe we live in, we are one in spirit, one in truth, no matter what the outer appearances may be. And we feel that vibration of gratitude. We're grateful this morning for our ancestors, no matter what country, what nation we came from. We have ancestors who helped forge the way to get us right here today. To get us right here in this beautiful space with all these loving hearts. We are grateful. So we let go now and allow this energy to flow in and through us, as us, and expressed as us. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. And now we'll share our vision and our mission for Unity of Bay City, which is really a world vision. Together, united in spirit and grounded in the divine, we are a beacon of light for the world. And our mission statement, together, we are one community, looking within, reaching out, and practicing the principles of love. And so it is. And now Nancy's going to come up and share the daily word and our annual theme today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thought I would generously not share some cold germs with you. How about that? Well, as you know, I'm Nancy Bordasco, and it is my privilege to be here with you this morning. And I want to thank Stacy and Carrie and Tammy for filling in for me singing this morning. I appreciate it very much. Our annual theme is Passport to Transformation, our evolving journey, and all that we evolved over this year. For the month of November, we're going to shine our light on the country of Nepal and the evolution of strength. So here are some facts about Nepal that we haven't mentioned yet. If you look at Nepali food, it's predominantly a combination of locally sourced ingredients, very much locally sourced. not easy to travel long distances in and out of Nepal. So we have exotic flavors and varied cooking styles, nevertheless, because they're brought in from India, Tibet, and China. Nepali cuisine is closest to Indian cuisine because of similar cooking styles and because they all have ingredients in common available to them. But the big difference here, and one you'll see today, is that tea is Nepal's choice of beverage. So starting your day with a hot brew, to taking well-deserved breaks in the middle of the day over a steaming cup, tea has become synonymous with the Nepali way of life. And what we've done is we've arranged a whole buffet of all different kinds of teas. So even if you have never really gotten into tea, look at some of those flavors. If you can't see something you like there, it's too late, I know. Now, the crush, tear, curl, CTC tea method is a method of processing the Assam variety of tea. It accounts for almost 95% of domestic consumption, owing to its lower cost of production and compared with the alternative, which is orthodox tea. Never knew there was an orthodox tea, right? Orthodox tea is Darjeeling tea. It's made from the Chinese variety of the tea plant. The tea is hand or machine rolled, and most specifically teas like green tea, oolong tea, or white tea. And their hand-rolled tea fall under this category of orthodox tea. So you too can be orthodox today. All right, let's settle back into our chairs now for the reading of today's daily word. Our daily word for Sunday, November 20th, is grace. Grace blesses my life in every way. Let's affirm that together. Grace blesses my life in every way. If I'm feeling overwhelmed or find myself in the midst of conflict, I don't need to struggle. Grace, the ceaseless activity of divine love, is mine to claim. This infinite resource of spirit carries me through even the most challenging circumstances. It is expressing in my life right now. I need not earn grace. It is never withheld. Just as water flows when I turn on the tap, saying yes to grace is all I have to do for divine life, love, wisdom, and strength to flow freely in every part of my life. Centered in grace, I am at peace. My thinking is clear, and I possess ample understanding, compassion, and insight. Drawing from this divine gift, I bring harmony and joy to my relationships. I move forward with renewed confidence, energy, and efficiency. And our scripture reading today is taken from the letter of Paul, his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9. He said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness." And our affirmation, let's say it together one more time. Grace blesses my life in every way, and so it is.
Thank you, Nancy. And now we'll move into our time of meditation. And so we just take another nice deep breath. And settle in. In my meditation this morning, I meditated with the snowflakes. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause and wonder and stand wrapped in awe. His eyes are closed. That's by Albert Einstein. And so we close our eyes, our outer eyes right now, and take another nice deep breath, and we open our inner eyes, our heart space, as we pay attention just gently to the breath. Love is breathing us right now, so we don't have to stop and think to breathe. Although sometimes when we pause and take a deep breath, we feel like we've been holding our breath. So breathe deeply now. Breathe deeply now. Feel your cells say thank you. And allow your thoughts just to float by. You are right here, right now. Thoughts may try to trick us into thinking that we're somewhere else, but we are not. We are in the presence of the presence of each other, of the mystery of being here as we enter into the quiet immensity of your own presence. Enter into the quiet immensity of your own presence. Have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. Receive encouragement when new frontiers beckon. When we get quiet and those inspirations move between our head and our heart. Respond to the call of your gift and the courage to follow its path. Gently, gently. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame. May anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of your very soul. And as we move into the silence, we take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. And we are consoled in the secret cemetery of your soul. Experience that sacred gift now, woven around the heart of wonder in the silence. as we awaken to the mystery of being here. As we respond to the call of our gift. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. Woven around the heart of wonder. We are grateful for every breath, for every little thing, for life itself. And we let go now, knowing it is so, and gratefully so it is. Amen and amen. Most of those beautiful words are from John O'Donoghue, Walking in the Wonder. Stays there, see? How did you guess that?
Still standing, so that's all.
That's good too.
I look in your eyes, it's like watching the night skies or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold, just like them old stars. I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough, giving you all my love. I'm still looking up when you're needing your space to do some navigating. I'll be here patiently waiting, see what you find. 'Cause even the stars, they burn, some even fall to the earth. We've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. I don't wanna be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we didn't intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to win. 'Cause all the world caving in. I had to learn what I'm not and what I'm not and who I am. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up, I'm still looking in, and I won't give up on me. I won't let you go, Tina. We got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it, and I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still
I won't give up on us, right? Our heart, our mind, we go higher, we evolve. That's been our theme this entire year, is an evolving spirit, and we looked at different aspects. And for Nepal, it was strength. It is strength. Because when I thought of Nepal and all those mountains, wow. And I read something as I would, go through and learn more about Nepal, said that it was the least developed country. And I take exception to that. What does developed mean? That they have more gadgetry than other countries, or less gadgetry? Do they have less things? Yay, Nepal. They live in the mountains. They have to be mindful. They have to prepare and look ahead and look within to find their strength. And that's what just I fell in love with that. And my love for mountains anyway. And metaphysically, mountain means going to our highest thoughts. Going to our highest thoughts about life. And so, most underdeveloped country, I think not. I think not. So today I talk about the practice of gratitude. And here in the U.S., most of us are trained to say please and thank you, be polite. Be polite, be nice. Don't talk like that. Yeah, that's one way to do it, right? But it's that practice of understanding what the flow is. So let me ask you this. What if you woke up or tomorrow, let's say, because you already woke up this morning. Kind of. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the people, places, and things that you were thankful for? Just that. Only what you were truly thankful for. And that's all you had. That's what I think of the Nepalese folks. So how grateful do you feel this moment for the people, places, and things in your life? All of them. Not just the nice ones. Richard Rohr says everything belongs. And we get to figure that out with our heart. Do you wish things were different? Gratitude is a form of generosity. And generosity is worth cultivating. So often we withhold our gratitude until we're sure that gift is ours. For example, I'll give thanks as soon as I get that new car. Because boy, this one's, Or as soon as that perfect relationship comes along, then I'll be thankful. That's not real gratitude. Gratitude begins in mind, and it's a decision. Heartfelt gratitude cultivates feelings of joy. It is giving thanks because we trust the universal energy that we may call God. We trust God that mysteriously continues to evolve and grow more complex and even more profound. And our soul deepens with this energy of gratitude. This energy of gratitude. We practice gratitude by pausing often during our day or night just to begin giving thanks without even knowing why. We just do it. We just do it. And nature reminds me all the time, I think all of us, wow, isn't that beautiful? Wow, look at that tree. It got knocked down in the storm, but wow, I think I can use those tree remnants to make art work. Right? Gratitude for it all. This practice builds new neural pathways. I mean, we've all heard a lot about neural pathways in the brain, and we think of them as habits to change, and it's true. We practice, we practice, we practice. And the pathways with gratitude lead to joy and serenity. Neural pathways become habits, new ways of being that we begin to fall into naturally. Neuroscientists have shown how elastic our brain is. Yoink, that's what I always think of. It's like, snap. How elastic our brain is and how it changes each moment through the thoughts that we hold and then give rise to our emotions. Thoughts backed by feeling. Creative process, right? That's a unity basic, that's a metaphysical basic, that's a law of the universe basic. Thoughts backed by feelings, our emotions, brings it into manifestation in our lives. And that can be as the manifestation of a new habit. Deepak Chopra said, it's as if the cells of our body are eavesdropping on each thought and feeling. I thought that was pretty cool. Our cells are becoming, forming. We direct them, but this is not a conscious direction. It is rather unconscious, so our moods, our fears, our desires are not usually aware of running the show. This is the great unconscious. We can call it collective unconscious, whatever it is, and we're subject to that collective unconscious and our own. And this unconsciousness holds a lot of mystery. And if mystery bothers you, we need to let that go and be in the mystery, be part of the mystery. Charles Fillmore said, every time we speak, we cause the atoms in our body to tremble and change places. So you see, it's not just about forming something new to do. It's about informing our whole body, our heart, our mind, our cells. It causes our body to tremble and change places. This is our power. We can reverse old patterns by developing set as if rituals that we do often with sincerity and intention. Little and often brings huge benefits. We think it has to be some big thing. It's little and often a new practice builds and restores us. Gratitude can save us from worry, from sadness, anger, loneliness, and depression. But we won't know this until we cultivate the ritual of being grateful in a very conscious way. For a long time, I didn't look at everyday things I do in life as a ritual, like brushing my teeth or saying I love you to my family before I leave the house or go to bed. I was under the impression that those were simply good habits, but just habits. And I guess they are, but when we reframe it just a bit as a ritual, they feel more like an important part of life. Instead of, oh, I'm just in the habit of brushing my teeth every morning. That's not a big deal. The dentist said that I had to, or I should. But really, my teeth are pretty grateful. And I'm very grateful for my teeth. So that little ritual of brushing every morning is divine. I discounted rituals as something ancient, something very religious that was expected and would soon become rote. I say this because somebody's telling me to say this, but you might not be feeling it. They would be mindless and unmoving. You read something or hear something and it moves you, it opens you. It's fresh enough or it's new enough that it changes us. But like the ritual of communion on Sundays in the Church of Christ that I grew up in, it was supposed to mean that I was remembering Jesus and his sacrifices and his teachings by drinking his blood and his body that was sacrificed for us. I thought, yuck. As I got closer in age to being able to take communion on Sundays, I didn't think Jesus would want us to do it like that. I did not. But I did love these tiny little glass glasses filled with grape juice and these little tiny crackers. I was enthralled with all the accoutrements, but the ritual was strange to me. And as a young teenager, I attended Lutheran and Catholic churches along the way as I saw, with my friends, oh, what kind of church is he? Okay. But I did my best to follow along with what I saw around me that they were doing. I know we have Catholics and Lutherans in here, and it's beautiful to walk into a big church or a little one and feel the energy of ritual. But I try to keep up with the readings and the kneeling and the crossing and I was like, wow, this is kind of weird. We never did this in my church. Well, I just didn't want to mess up, so I didn't get much out of that. But I don't remember the words that were spoken. I don't remember that at all. But you know what? To this day, what I remember in those big old churches, or even the small chapels, was the feeling of reverence as the silence fell over everyone as communion started. That's what I knew was real. I didn't know it. I was like, I remember. I have goosebumps right now. And I hope it's not because you guys are cold. But in anticipation of receiving it, in between the words was the truth. I didn't understand why. But the gap between the words and the songs and all the fancy accoutrement, that was important. That was the important part. The silence wasn't outside of me, it was inside of me. God in me. Long after those days and to this day, I still seek out the silence. I still wanted to know God like Jesus did. He saw beyond that whole dying on the cross part. He knew God was not a judge and jury with the power to condemn me to hell. Instead, God is an ever-flowing energy of deep love and ever-abiding within our very soul.
Yes.
The universal flow of giving and receiving is communion. It is an act or instance of sharing, which takes us right back to gratitude as a mutual sharing. Several years ago, one of my dearest mentors told me about this book, The Path, by Michael Puett and Christine Groslow. It was from my mentor's guidance and the truths in that book that I began even more to get and to honor the underlying ritual in life. Not as a mindless habit, not because it was expected or required, but as a mindful reaching within my soul's wisdom and love, my pathway to what God is to me. And that sounds so lofty, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh, I've got this all. It's a daily, sometimes minute by minute practice. Yeah, because wow, my thoughts can go off in some really interesting directions. And my feelings of insecurity, all of those things. And so I seek out the silence little and often. So we shift now to consider ritual as viewed through the lens of the Tao and Confucianism. Confucius say. He lived around 551 BCE and was a great Chinese philosopher. But his vast and enduring influence comes not from grand ideas and large monasteries and churches and temples and mosques, but from deceptively simple ones. Ideas that flip on its head everything we understand about getting to know ourselves and getting along with other people. It says this in the book: rituals are transformative because they allow us to become a different person for a moment. They create a short-lived alternate reality that returns us to our regular life slightly altered. For a brief moment, we are living as if. For a brief moment, this as-if world is a new beginning, though it may be small, even short-lived. Done repeatedly, it is transformation taking place. It is as if in those moments that the whole world is simple, loving, peace-filled, and that I'm sitting right in the middle of it. It's as if all is well. So it's a refresh. Can you feel the atoms and the molecules and the cells trembling, changing places, like Fillmore said? A ritual is described as a custom done repeatedly, and that for a small space of time, a gap in which a new perspective can be born. And that's really what this season is about, new perspectives being born. When a ritual becomes an ingrained habit, yay. And it's so ingrained and so bright for us that it continues. And then we find a new one. Because aren't we just a bottomless well of things to do in our human lives, of ways to get along, of ways to prosper, of ways to wrangle our heart, our mind and our heart, little and often. Life is always evolving. Using rituals, our ancestors found ways to connect with a deep wisdom that guided them through life just as we do now. And they deeply communed with nature because they didn't have all the gadgetries we have. Think about when the power goes out at home. I love that, as long as the refrigerator doesn't fall. But for a couple of hours, there's no beeping, humming, phones ringing, things happening. So our ancestors had that. Jesus spent time in the wilderness. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree to contemplate life. Moses climbed up the mountain of his thoughts and came back with the Ten Commandments. When done with deep intention and sincerity, simple rituals move us into the world of possibilities, of the what-ifs and as-if. Now here's the catch. Not telling us what to do, simply to inspire and reignite our inner wisdom and love and joy of life that is always there. So we reignite that flame. Rituals are faith in the power of something unseen that allows us spaciousness, a different reality that changes the way we relate to our present life, the way we relate to our present life, the way we relate to all of those things that we woke up knowing were in our life, that we can be grateful for. We use rituals at UBC, the way we sing and our prayers at the end and at the beginning. And the custom of saying please and thank you are rituals. So when we take it from being that, say thank you. Mother might whisper to us, don't you say thank you? Thank you becomes thank you. And there's no debt of gratitude. We need to get over that. Somebody does things for you, I owe them a debt of gratitude. No, you don't. There's no debt in gratitude. It's a giving and receiving. You may not ever get to thank that person, but you sure can help someone else pay it forward. So it's not about beholden to somebody. Because I think sometimes people don't accept they're good because they feel like they're going to have to pay somebody back for it. Right? You ever feel that way? Gratitude is a form of generosity, and generosity is worth cultivating in our mind, and it's not a means to get more by being polite. It's just simply a way of being. Simply a way of being. A sincere thank you opens the heart of the giver and the receiver. How do we thank our bodies and our earth for their constant giving? We kind of blow that, don't we, a little bit? Our body and our earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, as we throw some more things in the landfill. We're working on that. We're evolving in that. So I go back to the question I asked at the beginning when I began this morning. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things of life that you were thankful, deeply thankful for? As we contemplate this question, we think and recognize each moment as a gift. The very moment the universe is giving each of us life and the power of choice through each breath. Thanksgiving Day is a ritual we in the United States of America use to remember our ancestors, their generosity of spirit as they continued through all kinds of hardships and challenges to forge a path for freedom of our country, our brand new baby country. Did they make some errors in judgment? Yeah. Do we still? Absolutely. But may we give thanks each day to self and others as we recognize all the gifts that conscious gratitude gives us. All the gifts that conscious gratitude gives us. So how could we be anything but grateful? I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Now, Nancy, you're up. Come up. Come. You're doing good. Yeah. And you love her jacket.
It looks kind of Nepalese to me.
Well, we've come to that time in our service for sharing our financial gifts and tithes with this ministry. Will our ushers please come forward? Excellent. Now I want you to think about everything you have to be grateful for. What are you grateful for? Hold it in your heart and share it. And then join me in stating the affirmation for this offering, and it should be up on the screen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am enough. I have enough. There is enough. And so it is.
Knocking on a locked door, wondering why I tried for anything at all. Ran hard, worked it with my whole heart, reaching for that last part. Once again I fall.
This is another ritual. And it's one that we need to stay conscious of. It's another flow of love. Money is a flow of gratitude. It's the energy we put in to this energy of money. And that's how it circulates. That's how we become prosperous. That's how we become steadfast and confident in our abilities to succeed. It's one measure, one, not all of it. It's our consciousness that we rise by being grateful, by being here and laughing together and eating together and crying together when we need to. That's part of the circulation. And we bless these tithes, these love offerings to their greatest extent and see the energy multiply and bless this community and beyond. And so it is. Thank you. All righty. Here I go. Here we go. I've been waiting for it.
There we go. Well, we're going to invite you to stay after today. Remember we said that drinking tea was very important in Nepalese culture. You've got at least 15 varieties of tea there. So
Yeah.
go have fun. There's little snackies. Enjoy.
Yeah. Sip a cup. Have a cuppa, as they say in Britain.
Cuppa.
Have a cuppa. Next week, you're invited to stay after the service and join us in decorating our beloved church, our building, our spiritual center, whatever we call it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jen, for all you do to make it easy and fun for all of us, yes, to participate together. We'll have some snacks. It's just really fun. It's just a lot of fun. You'll find your little place in it or your big place, So, okay.
Well, the next big thing coming up after that, let's get it all ready for Advent by Candlelight. December 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Now, this is a different format than we've had in the past, so go with it for a little bit here. We'll have an evening of meditation, of healing sounds, thank you, Narada, and an indoor labyrinth walk. There'll also be hors d'oeuvres and beverages, and the social hall will be appropriately decorated with appropriate music. So join us all for this wonderful celebration.
Yeah, we'll have the official unveiling of our new indoor labyrinth. And it's gonna be fun and beautiful. And on on December 10th, there's a little flyer here. Santa's workshop, Make and Take, Saturday, December 10th from 10 to 3.
It's a drop-in. You won't be here for the whole time if you don't want to be.
Drop in, you get buy a ticket, you go in, you make a craft, bring your friends, bring your families. It's kid-friendly and even non-crafty adult friendly. I'm not going to be teaching a craft. I leave that. Now, Tammy is our resident artist. Her and Wilma have a team, and Joan, and they are putting this event together. We will also have a bake sale that day.
Good old-fashioned bake sale.
Yeah, if you want to bring some baked goods for the bake sale, if you bring them on the 9th from
Between 4 and 7.
4 and 7. Oh, I guess it's right here.
Yeah.
And it's yours.
That's okay. Or Saturday morning.
Or Saturday morning. Yeah.
Then we'll have quantity that you can buy if you wish, or singles that you can take and munch on while you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a public service announcement, this is a perfect example today. We're grateful that it was cold enough that, everything was kind of frozen in place. But in these months, if there's a lot of snow, inclement weather, and you're like, whether church is going to be open or not, we want to remind you that we do close sometimes due to road conditions. And so we'll do our best to announce it as soon as possible. So you can watch for announcement on our Facebook pages, UBC Family, and then Unity of Bay City, 2 of them. We'll announce it on WNEM TV 5. In case of closure, the service will be held on Zoom for that day. I will be in my jammies at home during the service. Well,
Sipping.
And you can check your email for the invitation for Zoom. So we don't do that lightly, but you know, hey, it's Michigan and we have Zoom at our disposal now. So
The west side of the state got it heavier than we did this time. But some of them, I think Traverse City got 10 inches. Yeah, so. Next Sunday, yeah, snowflake. Now, Sunday, December 4th, very special. For those of you that have been at our sanctuary before, you remember it. For those of you that haven't, it's amazing. There is a, what is it, a 12-foot tall tree? Really big. It's a really big tree. And it is absolutely covered with angels. Angels, each one of which commemorate someone we've loved who's moved on. It's beautiful. And on December 4th, we'll have the ceremony where you can bring in an angel in remembrance of someone you might have lost this year. And we'll invite you to come up and place it on the tree. It's a beautiful day, and we'd love to have you with us for that day.
and that includes pets as well. And also you can, if you don't feel like doing that on Sunday morning, you can come in early or come in during the week and have a little ceremony for that. So it is a beautiful thing to share though with our community.
And we carefully preserve those ornaments from year to year.
We've got big
Bins of them.
and they're honored, and so you can help us put those up too that day on the 27th.
It's always good to go through and find, oh, there's that one I put up, or that one.
Yeah. All right. And just a sneak preview of a couple things that we don't have complete announcements for yet, but we are going to be doing for our community outreach this year, this season, is for pets. We're going to do a collection for pet treats. We've got April. Would you say what the name of it is?
It's Yappy Holidays.
Yappy Holidays.
Happy holidays, there you go.
So she'll have a list of different organizations that you can donate to with food, money, time.
They always need food,
dog walkers, whatever.
walkers.
And then for our two-legged human friends, we're going to collect hats, mittens, socks, gloves.
A warm and cozy holiday.
Stuff. And it'll be from children on up to adults. We a lot of times will give that to the Good Samaritan homeless shelter. I always think of them first, and there are other women's shelters that are in
Shelter house in Midland.
Shelter house, and what's it called here?
Oh, shit. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. Does anybody know?
Women's Center?
Women's Center.
Okay.
And so there's just so if you, I have some. Shoot, I was going to bring this. I got these little tiny mittens I found somewhere. Itty bitty, they're so cute. And so from that size to whatever your heart says, and you can buy these things from the Dollar Tree to Kohl's to everything. So
everybody needs mittens and a hat and socks.
yeah, and so when we'll have a barrel or something, and you can also bring food for the food pantries. But here's a really important piece of bringing food for food pantries, non-perishables, is you have to check the expiration date on the can or the box that you bring it in, because they cannot give those away if they're expired. So those get tossed. And that's just, so if, go through your cabinets and toss it yourself, or eat it yourself if you're willing, but don't give expired goods to them. And we don't do it consciously. It's like, what's that expiration date?
Yeah.
So a couple of things, and you'll start seeing our ads here, and buckets and barrels and little dog bins and things. So just kind of a heads up on that as we give to this greater community.
Which is also the action of gratitude.
Totally is. Totally is. Grateful for all. Just grateful. I just can't say it all. We feel it. So speaking of that, we'll end our service today with something wonderful prayer. And I did change a couple of words, but I didn't have them changed up there. So I'll say it, but don't worry if you say it the way it is. Because ritual, I feel like you have to tweak it sometimes. So it's happening in my mind, my heart, and out to my life. So let us stand, if you will, and we'll say our prayer, and then we'll sing our peace song. Are you going to lead us in that?
Sure. Don't play music.
We'll sing along. All right. So take a nice deep breath. Oh, and know that something together,
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It's
happening in my mind
and heart.
It's happening
out into my
life.
I think it.
I feel it. I allow it. And gratefully so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Maybe get that changed from
Oxtail, baby.
I'm like, what?
I told you.
I know, I'm teasing you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yeah, good job.
Now, I'm going back and have a cuppa.
Yeah.